Well, hello if you're watching. My name is Chrissy, and this is my channel where I do whatever I want to do. It's really random, but I kind of dig it. So I'm sorry it's been a while. If you were looking forward to my video, I have had the flu, bronchitis, and a sinus infection all at once, and I'm just now getting back into working 50 hours again at work after being sick for so long, and so I had to make that a priority because it's my full-time job. But I'm excited because I got a new camera. It's a Canon N50 and it is beautiful. I'm still learning. It's gonna take a while because there's a lot. But I'm excited for the quality. I'm excited because there's a viewfinder, and I'm definitely excited because I really want to get into vlogging and really just pushing myself to get out and to do things that I normally wouldn't do because I love the experience. And I'm going to Rome in May to see Tommy, and I absolutely cannot wait to vlog and film all of the beautiful things there. So, today I thought I would start by doing something pretty simple and fun that I usually love to do, which is drawing tattoo designs. So I'm going to teach you guys how to draw a rose, and it's very simple. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy. So, for this, you're going to need a sketchbook or just a piece of paper, preferably mixed media paper. I use the Canson mixed media. I've always used this, and I have nothing but good things. It's about $9 at Michael's, but you can use the 40% off coupon on this one. You're going to need 2 fine liners. I use F and M from the Faber Castell. I used to use the Prismacolor, but I'm noticing these to be a lot more pigmented, and they just fulfill my needs. You're going to need an eraser and a pencil because I like to sketch first. I'm not confident enough to just go on in. I use a 4H because it is very hard and light, so you can make a light sketch and erase it without really, I guess, damaging the paper if you use a light hand. And then lastly, I use alcohol markers. So you're going to need 2 greens, 1 red, and about 3 to 6 grays to black. So I will show you what I use. So I use a 100 black. Okay, so I went and found 2 images that I really enjoyed. So I really like this one because I like the more simple center. And I went with this one because I love the leaf design, and I definitely love just the way the petals are. And so I'm gonna pull both of these and create my design. So typically when I start with a traditional rose, I begin with the fold of the flower, which usually I imagine to be 2 footballs connected and then cut in half. Now, I usually make one side bigger than the other, usually the right-handed side, and I make the underside go underneath it, kind of tucked in. Next, I draw 3 little, I guess, buds. I don't know what the word would be. Anyways. So then we're going to go ahead and go to the actual petals of the rose. And for this, I kind of just have fun with it. I don't make them perfectly same sized or anything like that. I tuck some in underneath each other. I let some overlap. I keep the shapes very similar in the sense that they're all rounded, but I just have fun with it. And so there we go. You can have fun with it too. There's no wrong or right way to do this. Next, you're going to draw the leaves. And I like to make an odd number of leaves. I don't know, it's just something I've always done. I like the balance, heavy top, kind of less on the bottom. I don't know, I think it's just aesthetically pleasing. Now, the sketch does not have to be perfect. After sketching it, I go into lining it with an F, which is my thinner of my 2 fine liners. And for this, something I've learned is that it's okay to move your sketchbook around a lot. And when you're lining it, don't make multiple, I guess, sketchy lines. You want to do a strong, confident line. And to achieve that, I've learned that if I pull the pen towards my hand, it's more comfortable, and it allows for a more smooth and, I guess, confident line. Next, we're just going to erase all that junk by pencil line. So we're now going to go into actually beginning to do the gradient. And I'm going to start with my black, which is going to be the C100. And for this, you're just going to go into the places where the shadows would be, the darkest shadow. And in traditional art, there's a lot of darks. You want the heavy black contrast. And so I usually do it around the border of the actual center of the flower, where the leaves touch the actual flower itself and where the leaves touch each other. And then we're going to do it underneath the petals and on those three little bobs, don't know what you call those, but I know I like to draw them, and anywhere that there is something overlapping. Next I go in with my second darkest gradient, which is going to be the C5, and from here you're going to lay the value on top of the black, and then you're going to create a small border outside of the black. And for the actual blending from black to this color, you're going to kind of flick out from the black. Doing this will create a sort of bleeding effect, lightening that really harsh black border. And next we're going to move into the third of the darkest, which is going to be my C3. And we're going to do the exact same thing. And this time you're going to go from the black to the C5 and then make your own C3 border. And finally we're going to go in with the C1. And for this one we're only going to go into the C3 border that we made and lighten that up. Now this gradient isn't going to look perfect, but you are going to go in with the red, and so it is going to cover it and it will look a lot smoother underneath that red. If you were going to be doing this black and white, I would suggest more of the different C values in order to create a smoother transition and a smoother gradient, but that's okay. Now I'm going in with my R29 Lipstick Red, and for this you're going to cover that gradient and you're also going to create sort of a border leaving a white outline along the edges. You're going to want to make sure with the flowers that are tucked under that you go all the way to the edge, so that way it creates the effect of being underneath that overlapped petal. And we're just going to keep doing that, making sure we don't harm the white of that paper. That's what's really going to make it pop with all that contrast. And I highly suggest being really fluid and moving your sketchbook around to what's comfortable for your hand. Again, I find it easier to shade towards me. So next we're going to be going in with my two green values, starting with our darkest. I'm using olive green and G99, I do believe. And then we are going to be doing the exact same thing we did to create a gradient by going in with my G94, which is Grayish Olive. And you're going to start from the darkest value and flick out. You're going to want to make sure you pull that value all the way out to the edges. You don't want any whites. And then you're going to go in with your thin multi-liner and create the actual, veins of the leaves. And for this, you're going to want to follow the curve on one side and then do opposite on the other to give it sort of a fold to it. Makes it look really nice. And then finally, you are going to go in with your thickest multi-liner and you're going to go around the whole edge of that flower, including the leaves. You're not going to go inside of any of the places because you want to create sort of a thick outline in order to make it pop. This is also going to clean up any messes that surround the picture and really pull it all together. Alright, so I just finished, and as you saw, this is the final result. So there are definitely a few mistakes. I am definitely out of practice, but I will continue to get back into it. I used to be so in love with making tattoo designs, and I still am. I really would love to be a tattoo artist one day, but it's a process. And so all I can say is that you're gonna mess up, and sometimes you're gonna make smudges, but that's okay. Still finish it, because it's just practice. And just keep doing it, and pretty soon you'll be able to play around with your own reference photos and find things you really like. But once you understand the basics of how to make a gradient, it's really simple from there. And you're able to play, and yeah. So thanks for watching, and I hope it helped in some way. And I'll definitely see you guys around. Wow, this is so clear you can almost see the sadness in my eye.